Hi, I'm Brian Boyd. Thanks for joining News from the Sound, a cooperative project between the Sound newspaper and Branford Community Television. In each weekly episode, we'll bring you Branford highlights from this week's edition. Well, folks, 'tis the season. In Branford, there's one way to know that the holidays are in full swing, and you'll see it on this week's front page. It seemed that anyone who wasn't marching in last Saturday's holiday parade was cheering from the roadside when the annual event took to the streets on November 28th. Groups ranging from volunteer firefighters to Girl Scouts, traveling on everything from flatbed trailers to their own feet, proceeded to the green before joining together for the tree lighting. For more photos of the event, visit the Sound's website, www.zip06.com. More holiday magic is in store for Branford with Stony Creek's upcoming annual live pageant on Saturday, December 12th. The pageant, which runs from 6 to 8 p.m., also includes a live musical program in the Church of Christ Congregational Sanctuary and features the traditional Stony Creek Fife and Drum Corps march to the Village Green, followed by a caroling ceremony with nativity readings. The Church of Christ Congregational in Stony Creek sponsors the annual all-volunteer effort. According to event organizer Wayne Jacobson, throughout the event, strolling carolers in Victorian garb will stop and sing at different live scenes. The events are free, but the church hopes that guests will bring along a donation to help with its collection for the Branford Food Council and the community dining room. Collection boxes will be located at several points along the way. A Stony Creek tradition since 1978, the pageant took a 5-year hiatus in the early 1990s and returned reinvigorated in 1996. It's manned by more than 120 volunteers, including members of the church's youth group and the community. Live animals are sprinkled into scenes and usually include the likes of a llama, donkey, horse, cow, goat, and sheep. Viewers are encouraged to travel on foot, but cars will also be able to negotiate the event. For more information, including day of weather questions, call 203-488-7827. In other news, 2 popular Route 1 eateries ran into trouble with the state recently. Department of Consumer Protection liquor control agents, working with local police officers and underage volunteers, recently conducted 10 alcohol compliance checks in Branford to identify any stores that made unlawful sales of alcohol to minors. Of 10 locations tested for compliance on November 20th, 2 failed by selling alcohol to 2 underage volunteers who had been trained and provided by the Governor's Prevention Partnership. The 2 premises that failed the compliance checks were SBC Restaurant and Brewery on 850 West Main Street and Eli's on the Hill at 624 West Main Street. In education news, the question of teacher diversity arose at the Board of Education meeting on November 18th after board member John Prinz voiced his concern that Branford is not doing enough to increase the number of minority teachers on the public school staff. Prinz brought the question to light after Superintendent of Schools Kathleen Halligan reported currently only 2.1% of all Branford's public school educational professionals are minorities. Minorities make up approximately 16% of Branford's overall school student population, according to the report. Halligan said efforts will continue to be made, although she said the district has already made every effort to attract quality minority candidates and added that these candidates are highly sought across the state. Board of Education Chair Frank Carano told the board, "Certainly, it's our goal and we should continue to subscribe toward inroads to it." We're looking for reader feedback on this story. Do you think Branford needs to bolster its efforts to increase diversity among its education professionals? Weigh in at www.zip06.com. Click on your town, click on this story, and add your thoughts below the story. If a Branford High School student comes to your door selling the new holiday CD Imagine, buy it. Only 2,000 copies exist and 1,300 have already sold. Packed with holiday songs and stunning choral versions of music meant to inspire peace for all the earth, the new CD was unveiled on November 27th with a red carpet entrance and live performances by its talented high school singers. Sales will help the students travel to Verona, Italy in April to perform in an international choir festival. At the November 27th CD release party, BHS Choirs Director Kathy Ann Roding celebrated unveiling the new CD with First Selectman Anthony Unk de Ross, Board of Education Chairman Frank Carano, Superintendent of Schools Kathleen Halligan, and CD cover artists and choir members Brian Kelly and Patricia Liu. Copies of the new BHS Choir CD Imagine are currently being sold by BHS students for $20 per copy. This week's Person of the Week, it's Chris Sullivan, who has sparked the idea for Branford's first Clean Energy Forum, where a panel will share significant money-saving approaches to home energy alternatives that are guaranteed to green the planet. The free event begins at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, December 12th in the Blackstone Memorial Library. Sullivan served in the AmeriCorps for a year. It's where he met his wife, Suzanne Botta, and he is an environmental science expert with a background in water quality monitoring. Chris currently manages risk assessment permitting for the State Department of Environmental Protection, and he's committed to bringing his green know-how to all Branford residents, saying, "This is the first. You can green your wallet and green the planet." In community news, members of the Branford Garden Club recently planted 500 daffodil bulbs on the corner of Route 1 and Cedar Street. Chaired by Ann Hacker, the club's daffodil committee aims to enhance the beauty of Branford. The First Congregational Church of Branford's Veterans Outreach Mission, which runs the Take a Vet fishing program, recently received 2 grants, one in the amount of $500 from the Disabled American Veterans Department of Connecticut, and one in the amount of $2,500 from the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. Walsh Intermediate School has announced its Students of the Month for October. Team 5-1 includes Neu Keen, Team 5-2, Madeline Matson, Team 5-3, Justin Veilleux, Team 5-4, Kendra Libby, Team 6-1, Juliana Piscatelli, Team 6-2, Shian Jenkins, Team 6-3, Scott Weber, Team 7-1, Alex Brent and Haley Brown, Team 7-2, Jordan Brecciaroli, Team 7-3, Balal Khan, Team 8-1, Tracy Crookston, Team 8-2, Amy Bachuber, and Team 8-3 is Emma Paluzzi. Congrats, kids. In Branford sports action, Branford football senior captain Pedro Boscovich made 8 tackles and recorded an interception as the Branford football team closed its season with a resounding 47-10 home triumph versus East Haven on Thanksgiving morning. The game also saw Harrison Goodkin rush for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns, with fellow junior Kyle Nolan recording 2 touchdowns on the ground and 1 via the air. In this issue, we also wrap up the season for the Branford girls soccer team, which recently completed a difficult campaign. Jen Kohut's squad went 3-12-1, but that doesn't mean the season wasn't without its bright spots, the biggest one being a 1-0 home win against Guilford in the finale, avenging a prior loss to the Indians and leaving the Hornets with a positive feeling going into next year. 2 members of this senior class earned postseason honors from the Hornets. Emily Fowler was named Most Valuable Defensive Player, and Colleen Ricciardi earned Most Improved Player distinctions. Senior Molly Porianda, shown here making a save during a game, earned the starting goalkeeper's job for Branford girls soccer team this fall. Nicole Paviglianiti was Branford's Most Valuable Offensive Player and earned her 3rd straight All-Southern Connecticut Conference Roanoke Division selection. This week's Living section looks at the 5th annual Shoreline Hanukkah celebration this Sunday, December 6th, from 3 to 4 p.m. at the Women and Family Life Center in Guilford. The theme is a celebration of light. There will be 4 stations for kids featuring music, games, stories, and art in an attempt to bring together the light of the Jewish celebration and each individual child's light, according to the event organizers. Children of all faiths will be invited to make menorah crowns, play dreidel games, decorate wooden boxes to hold their Hanukkah candles, and learn about olives and the many uses of olive oil. Find the full details in this week's paper. This week's a la carte column focuses on something to crunch on during crunch time. Food writer Lee White gives out her treasured candy recipes for amazing peanut butter, brittle, and Buckeyes. Also, theater critics Bob and Karen Isaacs give the lowdown on all the upcoming holiday shows, from A Christmas Carol to Emmett Otter to A Sister's Christmas Catechism to It's a Wonderful Life. The Isaacs give all the details on shows that'll keep every member of the family happy this holiday season. To learn more about upcoming theater productions and everything else going on in the community, check out the full calendar in the Sound or online at www.zip06.com. This week's calendar picks include the Saturday 5th Lights of Branford Victorian Holiday Gala from 8 to 11 p.m. at the James Blackstone Library. That's it for this week's Highlights from the Sound. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to check the paper or online at www.zip06.com to stay up to date on all your Branford news. Thanks again.